people what you bringing to the table. Working hard, girl.
Hey guys, so today I'm gonna make some baked mac and cheese. I'm just gonna walk you guys through the steps. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just preheat the oven to 350 degrees. So here I have everything that I'm gonna use. I have my aluminum foil pan. I have some half and half cream. I have black pepper, garlic salt. I have 2 eggs. I have my butter here. I have some breadcrumbs, some medium cheddar cheese, the elbow macaroni, some carnation evaporated milk, and some Kraft mild cheddar cheese. So while the water is boiling for me to add the macaroni, I'm just gonna start preparing other things and prepare the pan for the oven. So in the meantime, I have the macaroni here with the salt that I'm gonna put in the pot once the water is boiling. So now I'm just gonna prepare like my cheese, my milk, and everything like that. So I'm just taking the 2 eggs and I'm gonna crack them. Then I'm gonna take the half and half. I'm gonna pour a generous amount. I'm gonna say that's about half a cup. Then I'm gonna take the carnation milk. I'm gonna pour in a generous amount as well. Then I'm gonna just mix everything around. I'm gonna add a little bit of black pepper. I'm also gonna add a little bit of garlic salt. Just a small amount. And then, once again, I'm just gonna mix everything all together. So the water is now boiling, and it's time for me to add the macaroni. Just use a fork and make sure that all of the macaroni is mixed throughout the water. Then I'm just gonna cover it, leave it slightly uncovered, and I'm gonna let this boil for 8 to 10 minutes. Now I'm gonna take my butter. I'm gonna add, I wanna say at least 3 tablespoons or a little over 3 tablespoons of butter. And then I'm going to put it in the microwave and melt it down. So that's the butter that I'm using. Like I said, it's about 4 tablespoons. Then this is the mixture that I had made with the half and half milk, the evaporated milk, and some black pepper and garlic salt. So this is what I'm gonna pour over my mixture, and I'm gonna melt this butter down in the microwave. I'm gonna melt it down for about 45 seconds. So this is what the butter looks like. I gave it, like I said, I was melting it down for 45 seconds. So this is what it looks like. The reason why I'm prepping everything is because once the macaroni is finished, I just wanna add it to the pan and just get the baking process started. So I have my butter here, and then I have my eggs and my milk mixture, and then now I'm gonna move on to the breadcrumbs and the cheese. Just gotta make sure that it's not sticking to the pot. So just mix it all around. So I have like another 5 minutes to get done. So this is what it's looking like right now. Just keep on letting it boil until it gets fully cooked through, which is another 5 minutes or so. Now I'm just gonna add some breadcrumbs in here. This is just to put at the top of it, and I like the middle of my macaroni and cheese to have a little bit of crunch to it, so that much is good. This is just optional if you want to add breadcrumbs to yours, if you want to have, you know, that crisp kind of taste a little bit to the top instead of like a creamier taste, then you could just add the breadcrumbs. And this is the one I'm using. This is the 4C breadcrumbs, the seasoned one. So I already have the shredded cheese that I'm gonna use, but I also have this that I'm gonna layer the macaroni with. So now what I'm gonna do is just, I can use the cutting board for this, but I'm being a little bit lazy right now, so I'm just gonna take the knife and just cut them in pieces like this. And I'm not gonna use the whole thing. I'm just gonna probably use about a half of this brick. So yeah, I think this is about a half, so yeah. So at this point, the macaroni is basically done. So what I'm about to do is just cut the stove off, and then I'm just gonna drain the water off. So I have my pan ready. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of butter. I'm just gonna baste the pan to add the macaroni. Then I'm gonna take the macaroni. I'm gonna start filling out the pan with it. So I'm gonna add a half first, layer it with cheese and stuff, and then I'm gonna add the other half, layer it, season it, all that stuff. So this is only a half, not the whole thing. Next thing I'm gonna do is take my milk and egg mixture, and I'm just gonna put some all over it. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of my breadcrumbs, just a little bit, and just sift all throughout. Next step is the mild cheddar. I'm gonna layer some all throughout. The chunk of the cheese is gonna go at the top. So this is just to make sure that the middle actually has some flavor when you cut through it. And then the cheese and stuff that I had cut earlier, I'm just gonna start cutting smaller pieces of it and then just start adding it throughout. Like I said, this is just to make sure that the middle of the mac and cheese is also gonna be, you know, flavorful and not just blah. So, and I don't know about you guys, but I actually like when my mac and cheese is like super cheesy. So this is also a matter of preference. If you guys like it cheesy, then I would definitely suggest that you utilize this step as well. After that is done, I'm gonna take some more of my milk and my eggs that I put to the side and just put that all over. So far this is what we're looking like. Not too bad. So I'm gonna add the top layer of the macaroni now. You just want to make sure you're spreading everything out evenly. So now it's time for the fun stuff. So I'm gonna take my butter again, my melted butter. I'm just gonna add just a little bit over the top layer, into the sides, and then I'm gonna take my milk and egg mixture and just layer it all throughout. So this time I'm just gonna use a more generous amount. Cheese, the breadcrumb is going to be the last part. So I'm going to just layer. Cheese this baby up. This is the cheese, all cut in smaller pieces. I'm just gonna add throughout the top. Especially in the parts that are a little bit sparse at the top, I'm just gonna add the cheese here. And then I'm going to take the breadcrumbs, just sprinkle all throughout. Like I said, this is just based on your personal preference. I like a little bit of crisp in my mac and cheese, so. By the way, I'm leaving it uncovered before I put it in the oven. I'm not covering it, so that's also very important. Do not cover it, just leave it uncovered. So right now, I'm about to set my timer to 45 minutes. So this is 45 minutes later. The timer just went off. It's not done to my preference, so I'm gonna give it another, say 15 minutes to get done. Now this is how it looks, fully done.
As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any recipe requests, please drop them in the comments below.
Your phone out, snapping like you Fable, and you showing off, but it's alright, and you showing off.